All right then, guys. And so now that we've start building our templates, now we have all our templates. Basically, this is all we need to do. We can just make them dynamic. So now let's just start organizing our code. The first of all, I actually want to put all our views. What I mean by views are all our pages, because we're going to have about 3 to 4 pages on this app. We're going to put them within a particular folder, and just going to call the folder name views. Now, what this is going to do is it's going to hold all our pages. So let's just start by creating a very simple index.js. And what this page is actually going to do is it's going to import React from React. Simple as that. And right now, let's just say constant view. So this will actually be views. And right here, we're not passing any props. We're just going to leave it like that. And we actually need to um, return something. So let's just export default. We're going to export views by default. Okay. So let's just do that. And right here, we can just add a semicolon. And right now, we need to actually, because I told you this will be like a base for our app. So all what we've done here, let's just go ahead and just cut all this. Let's just cut all this. We don't need to actually import them right here, and we can just put it right here. Because like I said, this is just going to be like a base for our app. So for now, this category card will actually be within a category page. I don't know if that actually makes sense, but let's just start building it. So we only need the header. All right, so I think we need to actually go back twice. Yeah. So this is it. This is what we need to do. And right now you can see we have a blank page. Okay, so let's go ahead. Right here we need to actually create some few things right here. So the first thing we need to do is to actually import React router, because we need a way to navigate between those pages. So let's just go ahead and import some few things from the React router. So I'm just going to say import. First we want to import browse. If I get the spelling correct, browser router. Okay. I want to import it as router. You can just import it direct. Yeah, it's your choice. So I also want to import routes, and I want to import route. Okay, so let's just get the spelling correct. So from want to import everything from React uh, router DOM. Okay, so we want to import everything from React router DOM, and right here what we can do is within our router we can then use the router right now, and I just close that. So there is a very simple rule that I obey whenever I'm programming, and that's for every tag you're opening or any function you're opening, anything you're opening, you must always close them. So that's a simple rules, but it could save you hours of debugging. And right now on our routes, let's just close this again. So once you're opening it, make sure you close it, guys, so you won't get lost in the middle. And so within our routes, we actually want to create a very simple route. Okay, so the route will be for our base app. So let's just say paths. The path now will actually be our base route. So the path will be something, and this will be an asterisk. What this actually does is anything after the base app is just going to capture everything after the base URL. So right now, the view that we actually want to display when we actually hit this particular part. So the view, uh, The view is actually going to be the view, the base view that we created earlier. So element is actually going to be a a component. Okay, you can actually put a component right there. So this will be views. Okay, and let's just close that. Like, we're not passing any property to that. We're not passing any property, and this is actually a curly bracket, not a circle bracket. Okay, so we have that, and so let's just go ahead and import that. Import views from views. Okay, all right, so you can see our nav is now right there, and that's because we using it right here. So if I should take this out and we preview that, that should be gone. You can see that has gone. So we actually got an error, because it's we actually need to return something right there. So yeah, so we have this. So the next thing we need to do is to go into our views. So we actually going to need some couple of things also from the React DOM, because we actually need to direct the user from this particular page. We actually need to direct the user from this particular page. So let's just destructure what we need. We need routes, and we also need routes. Okay, we actually need them from React router DOM. Okay, so right here, what we can do is we can then go within a div class name, and the class name can be container, because I want to wrap everything within a container, and I want to give it a margin top and a margin bottom of 5. And yeah, so let's close that. Once you're opening it, please make sure you're closing your tags so that you won't get lost within. So we're getting this error because we can only return a single uh, parent tag. So we're going to use React fragment for that. So that should clear out the error. So just like we did earlier, we're going to within our routes. So we're going to create some basic routes. So the first route we're going to create will be for the landing page. That means the first page you see, and the path is actually going to be a very simple forward slash. Okay, so right now we're going to have an element. Okay, just like we did earlier, and the element is going to be the landing page. But for now, we don't actually have the landing page. We don't have the landing page. So what we can do is we can leave it the way it is now and actually come back and create the landing page. Okay, hope that makes sense. So let's just come back the way it is now and actually create the landing page. So the element is I'm just doing this so that it could be more readable. So the element is just going to be just like we did earlier, is going to be a landing. We can call it anything we want, and we actually want to pass a property, because we actually want the property that we're passing to be the page title that displays in the header of the page. So this will be that, and yeah, so we actually need to do this within the tag. Yeah, so this is just all we need to do. Remember, we don't have um this page that we actually throw an error. So you can see land is not defined, and let's just go ahead and create that landing page. So let's just go and say landing, because I love to categorize my stuffs. So this will hold all our views relating to the landing page. That will hold all the views relating to the landing page. So we're going to create a new file called index.jx, and within this we're going to have our landing page. Okay, so simple as that. So let's have a constant, and this will be landing, and this will actually have some props. So props, and yeah, so we actually need to return something. Let's just return some basic HTML file, and this will be landing page. Okay, so let's just close that. All right, so we're getting there, guys, because we still have a lot to do. So let's just export default, and right here we want to export landing as the default method. Okay, so good. We actually need to import React from the React library. Okay, so we have that, and yeah, so right here now we can just import the landing page that we just created. All right, so right now you can see the error has disappeared, and right here in our landing page, then we can bring in our category card. Okay, that should make sense right now. So I know you must be wondering, when are we going to bring in our category card? So we can actually now bring it right here. So we have the category card. Let's just wait for that to load. All right, so you can see our category card now. Everything is coming together, and there's one thing we need to actually change within our category card, is that the container, now that we're wrapping everything within a container, so we don't actually need that anymore. Yeah, so we have everything aligned right now. So the next thing we need to actually do is create a custom, because if you remember, we're passing like a props to this, which is the title. So if I should console.log on, and I open my spare tools and we go into the console, you can see we have an error right here, which is in the product card. We have an error within our product card. So let's go product card, and let's just see the error. um this is actually class name. Yeah, so that's the error, class name. Okay, yeah, so if we should refresh, these are basically warnings, and you can see our title that we pass into the props. Okay, so simple as that, and we can now create a custom hook. And what this hook is going to do is it's going to check if there is a title and make it the page title right there instead of React app. Okay, so that makes sense, right? So let's just go ahead and create that hook. Okay, so let's just close all this. We don't actually need that, and we actually need it right here. So let's go and right here within our source, let's create hooks. Yeah, so within these hooks, we're going to say I'm going to call it use the normal naming convention, and this will be use document title hook.js. Okay, so what this is going to do is we're going to do some simple logic right here. First, we're going to import use effects from React. So what this is going to do is, like I said in the beginning of this tutorial, you need some basic knowledge of React to actually start with this video series. So if you don't know what use effect is, I can't actually explain everything. So hook, yeah, use effect is actually an hook in React that you can use to actually create some side effects. So when your component is being mounted or is being unmounted into the into the DOM, you can actually hook up to events using the use effect. But you can just read more on use effect. So yeah, so let's just go ahead and create that particular hook. So hook, use document title. Okay, use document title, and this will actually be title. Okay, we actually need to actually use the use effect right now. Okay, so this is a simple hook, and right here we're just going to say document the title. So that's like a global, this document is like a global variable that we can just use. And yeah, so we're going to say title, or if that is not true, we're just going to put an empty string right there. And let's just say an hyphen, and this hyphen will be app underscore new. Okay, so I think that's all we need to do, and let's see. So this will be dependent on the title. So whenever the title changes, um hook hook is going to run again. So that use effect hook is going to run again, and that's all we need to do. So let's just export um use document title. Okay, I think that's all we need to do right here. And yeah, so this is the hook. So right here, to actually use that, so right now we need to actually destructure the title from the props. So to do that, it's actually simple. Let's say constant. We need to actually destructure the title, and we're going to destructure that from the props, and we're now going to use that hook that we custom hook that we created. So which is the use document hook, and right now we're going to pass the title into that. Okay, so that's all we just need to do. That's all. We don't need to do anything else. And we need to actually import that particular, we need to actually import that particular stuff. Okay. All right. So we have that. Let's just preview that. We have an error. Okay. That's clear now. So you can see the title, which is the landing page right now. So if you notice, we importing all this, and this can actually be messy when you have a big applications that you're working on. So to actually fix this, we can create a simple config file for our JavaScript. So what we can do is we can create a new file, and we can call this jsconfig.json. Okay, so what this is just going to do is it's going to hold a config file for our JavaScript, and we can now set our base folder for our source. So we don't actually need to do things like and this anymore, because we're going to be setting our base source folder. So we're going to create, so we say base URL to be equal to source folder. So this source folder right here, so that will be the base, and we can say include. So whenever we're trying to import, so this will be include, and we can then say source. Okay, source. All right then, so our app should see this configuration right now and start using it. So right here, we don't actually need this anymore. So since we're setting this, it's just going to take this and go into the folder, and the same thing with this. Okay, so I think that's